driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everybody. Good Monday morning. I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods, but in Colorado it is -2. All right. Okay, we're done sharing. Just going to give it a minute. 83. 83. So who won yesterday? At Kansas City. Kansas City won. Broncos aren't in. So I haven't been keeping track. People are like, "Oh, you're such a big football." No, I'm not. I'm not that big of a football fan. I only watched the Bronco game out of habit, I think. I do enjoy it. So I also used to watch a lot of hockey. I used to know everything going on in hockey, but alcohol and drugs will take a lot of things from you, including the power to read the newspaper. All right, we're at the 3-minute mark, so let's go ahead and get going here. Looks like today's going to be for the rewatchers. Yay, rewatchers! All right, welcome to Daily Trudge. That went on and off real quick. It's my laptop. It's very sensitive. So you got to be careful. Okay, I'm careful. Put it on over to chat in case anybody shows up. Today we're talking about freedom from and freedom to. Probably a good chance that we are reading freedom from alcohol and freedom to our new lives. Okay? Don't imagine it's going to be too long. I don't have too much on it. I wanted to talk about imposter syndrome this morning. So maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll save that for this afternoon. Okay. Ooh, join Microsoft Rewards for a free trial of HBO Max. They know I want HBO Max right now. They know this because it's got Last of Us on it. And I love that game. I would love to watch that show. But I can't afford HBO Max right now. So I'm not watching it. Maybe I can find it on YouTube somewhere. All right. So I'm going to start reading on page 83 at the very top. Here we go. Yes, there is a long period of reconstruction ahead. We must take the lead. A remorseful mumbling that we are sorry won't fill the bill at all. We ought to sit down with the family and frankly analyze the past as we now see it, being very careful not to criticize them. Their defects may be glaring, but the chances are that their own actions are partly responsible. So we clean house with the family, asking each morning in meditation that our Creator show us the way of patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. The spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. That means that we're going to be doing things by example now. Okay? Our mouths are no longer the beginning and the end of everything. No, we must now bring action into our daily lives. Unless one's family expresses a desire to live upon spiritual principles, we think we ought not to urge them. Don't push them. They'll find their own way. Right? They will find their own way. I guarantee you none of my kids pray. None of my kids are involved with God at all. Okay? But maybe someday he will find a reason to make them seek him. I hope so. Okay? Maybe one day they'll be like, you know what? See what dad's doing? Maybe we ought to follow that. But it hasn't happened yet. So they will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness would make a skeptic out of anyone. Okay? So there we are at time. That's why I prefer quality over quantity. There may be some wrongs we can never fully right. We do not worry about them if we can honestly say to ourselves that we could right them if we could. Some people cannot be seen. We send them an honest letter. And there may be a valid reason for postponement in some cases, but we do not delay if it can be avoided. We should be sensible, tactful, considerate, and humble without being servile or scraping. As God's people, we stand on our own 2 feet. We don't crawl before anyone. Okay? And that feels kind of weird too, because aren't we looking for forgiveness? Is that what we're looking for here? Yeah. This is the forgiveness step. But we shouldn't be looking for forgiveness. We should be giving forgiveness, because it is only by forgiving others that you may be forgiven. Okay? That's how it works. You must be able to provide forgiveness in order to receive it. So you got to do it first. Right? Right here it says, we must take the lead. Okay? You're going to find that if you're working your program right, you're going to find that you tend to put your foot out knowing it's going to get stepped on, and you just don't mind anymore because it's creating something that is the right thing. Sometimes I'll take a little bit of flack to get to the right thing. You bet. Sure. I will do that if it means that doing the right thing is in the cards. If we're painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we're halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. So real quick here, it says before we are halfway through. Some people tend to think it's halfway through the 9th step. Hi, Patricia. Good afternoon. Some people think it's halfway through the 9th step, and some people think it's halfway through the steps. Okay. Well, if we're going to know a new freedom, where does that come in? Step 5. So I believe that what they are saying is halfway through the steps. That's my belief. Maybe your experience is different. Okay. Doesn't make either experience wrong. It just makes them different. Right. However you want to see it, works for you, you do it, man. There needs to be no contention or argument on that. It's a personal thing. Either way, we're going to be amazed. Right? So we're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. Okay? So this is our freedom to. Our freedom from freedom from, I wish they would have divided this up, because they talk about the freedom from alcohol and there is a solution. Okay. So what comes first? Well, the freedom from alcohol comes first. And once that freedom from alcohol happens, that's when things start to change. The reason being is because you're not obsessed about alcohol all day. You are now focused on other things. And once that happens and you start to take the lead, things will start to happen in your life. Good, bad, or indifferent, they will happen. If you are creating good things, you will get good things. If you are creating bad things, you will get bad things. That's how it works. Don't test it. Actually, no, do test it. But test it with good things. Okay? Don't test it with bad things. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. That means that your past is going to be gold. Okay? I've not shut the door on my past, but I don't talk about it that much. Actually, we talk about let's rephrase that. Okay? What we do not do is get into war stories unless it becomes pertinent for some reason. But if we were talking about our past as a way to impress somebody, then we are doing it incorrectly. Sometimes we may need to utilize our past to qualify who we are. That is okay. Okay, but the moment it gets into a morbid reflection is when we are in danger. You do not need to get specific for people to understand how bad or how low you felt at the time. Give them their own empathy. You do not need to provide that. Okay? We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. This means that you will have calmness of mind. Not all the time, not 24 hours a day, but for the most part, you'll find that you have peace of mind most of the time. Okay? I have things right now that are worrying me, but I have a peace of mind around it because I know that I'm doing the right things in order to solve those problems. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. I'm going to let you know. The further down the scale you have gone, the more you can help others. That is not a challenge. That is not a challenge, okay? I do not challenge people to go relapse and go do it to make things worse so that you can be better at helping other people. No. Okay? So why do I say that? Well, I've been homeless. What does that mean? That means I understand homelessness. I've never been in the armed forces. What does that mean? I do not understand what it means to be a vet. Those are facts. That's what that means. And it doesn't matter how far down the scale you have gone. You can be a benefit to other people. Right? Even if you have not gone very far down the scale, you are a huge benefit to a lot of people. That proves you do not need to go that far down the scale in order to live a happy and purposeful life. So that's even better. All right. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. That's the hard one for me. The uselessness. Okay. That and the self-pity. They go together. They go together. Okay. This is the reason I say that is the hardest one for me is because it still goes on. Okay. There's still a lot of days when I feel very useless. And those are some of the things I'm trying to change right now. I actually just talked to my therapist about this. And I had to have a really good discussion about my limitations, about my levels of commitment. Can Dion make those levels of commitment? Okay. And I'm having to take a very serious look at a lot of this because that will determine what it is that I can do. Okay. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. That one wasn't hard for me. I love helping my fellows. I love coming on here and gabbing and yakking my mouth and helping other people because I'm the center of attention and I love it. I'm just being honest. It's obvious I'm the center of attention here. I'm not going to say that I'm not. I am. And I love it. Okay. But I try not to abuse it. I wish there were more. But God loves humility in my life. God loves humility in my life. Self-seeking will slip away. Self-seeking will slip away. That's the obsession. That's the obsession. Woo! That's what self-seeking was our obsession. Because it's all that we were trying to get. Need more. Need more. Give me booze. Give me booze. Give me drugs. Give me drugs. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Right? Can't get enough. You know? Why can't we be addicted to salad? Is that a bad joke, Gary? Please tell me that was not inappropriate. If it was, I apologize profusely. If not, then you guys may steal it. But if we can't laugh at ourselves, that includes me. But okay, we'll see how well that went. Here's the biggest one, I think, for everybody. Fear of people and of economic security will leave us. Gosh, they put two really big things in there. I don't really have a fear of people anymore. I've learned my levels of trust. Economic insecurity is something different, and it's actually something that it's actually something that my wife and I are going through right now. We were talking the other day, and and she was saying that we might not make it, and God has a way of doing things. And what came out of my mouth was, babe, as long as you and I are together, I'll give a fuck. I don't care. We could live in a cardboard box. I tell you what, God has never, ever once let us down, babe. And he will get us through this too. Is the problem solved? No. Okay. But now, instead of being worried, we're living in the solution. So instead of worrying about the problem, we start living in the solution. And that will take care of it. I guarantee you. And I'll tell you how. I'll let you know when it gets. There's some things that. I'll make an announcement here at the end. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Okay. They will be epiphanies. They will be sudden revelations, is what those will be. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? Fuck no. No, we think not. They're being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. I can hear everybody in the meeting going, work, work, work. I hate it when they do all that. This is not fucking church. Quit repeating everything that everybody says in the meeting while we do it. Stop it. Okay. All right. Freedom for me is both freedom from and freedom to. The first freedom I enjoy is freedom from the slavery of alcohol. What a relief. Then I begin to experience freedom from fear. Fear of people, of economic security, of commitment, of failure, of rejection. Then I began to enjoy the freedom too. Freedom to choose sobriety. Freedom to be myself. Freedom to express my opinion. To experience peace of mind, to be loved, and freedom to grow spiritually. But how can I achieve these freedoms? The big book clearly says that before I'm halfway through making amends, I will begin to know a new freedom, not the old freedom, what I'm doing what I please without regard to others, but the new freedom that allows fulfillment of the promises in my life. What a joy to be free. So let me tell I'm think on this. In order for you to feel that freedom, there was a requirement. There was a requirement to that new freedom. Have you figured out what the requirement was for that freedom? I'm kind of letting you think on it for a second. I'm doing that on purpose. And it's your addiction. If you wouldn't have been addicted, you would have never felt that freedom. Ever. Normies don't get that. Oh, whoa, what? No. See, they've been handling their problems just fine all their life. But not us. That's why it's a new freedom. Okay? They will never ever be able to feel this type of freedom. How can somebody, okay, if somebody has never really felt truly lonely like we have, they cannot experience joy like we do. There's a requirement there of something bad happening first. I call it the warm blanket theory. It's perfect right now, how cold it is. You wake up in the middle of the night and your covers are falling off you. You're freezing, right? You're so cold, and you grab your blanket and you put it back on. You're, oh, that's so warm. And it's a really nice, comforting warm, like a relief coming over you. Okay. You would have never, ever felt that if your blankets hadn't fallen off of you, if you wouldn't have been cold in the first place. So see, there's requirements to new things. The question is, can we accept all the devastating consequences that come with it? We're going to need to if we're going to make any kind of semblance out of all this life. Okay? Where is our new freedom really taking us to? What are we doing with our new freedom? Right? So what is the new freedom? The new freedom is more time on your hands. That's what it is. So God has now freed up your time. What are you going to do with that time? God just gave you the biggest fucking gift of your life. So what are you going to do? I'll tell you what any normal person would do. Nothing. Because they wouldn't be able to recognize it. That's why it's important that we have people in our lives that help us stay accountable. That's why we need friends in our lives. That's why we need sponsors, so they can point out, hey, you owe God. You owe him. Okay? You don't actually owe him shit, but you should feel that way. Okay? God's never demanded anything from me. He gives me choices all day long. Dion, you can do this or you can do that, or you can do what it is that you were talking about in your head. And sometimes I do that. Right? But God allows me that freedom now. But you also know me well enough where if I don't feel like I've accomplished today what I feel I need to accomplish, I will come back on here and talk more. And I will sit here and talk until somebody pops up and says, thank you. I needed to hear that. Okay. It's It's really what I'm striving for most days. To hear that person being helped, good. Just quick announcement. I was talking to my therapist, and what I'm going to, I'm taking on clients as a peer support specialist, because I am one, and a recovery coach. I'm only going to take on like four, maybe 5 clients. That's it. No insurance, $50 an hour. So, what I want to do is work with the people that have been trying to get this, and just that there's something missing. Maybe it's a time factor. Maybe it's something else, or maybe they're just still lost in this program. Okay? Those are the people I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the newcomers on this route. They're not going to be able to handle $50 an hour and stuff. Okay? And there's a reason it's only 4. I only want to take 4 or 5 clients. So I don't want to fill up all my time. I got other things to do. I need to make a little bit of money. So if you're coming across people that are in the program, doesn't matter what program they're in to me, and they need a little bit more help, if you could pass them my way, that'd be fantastic. I'm going to be working on the website so it'll reflect all this, but no insurance. I'm keeping this nice and simple. I'm not a therapist. I'm a recovery coach. The thing is even at $50, that's a steal. I have a lot of knowledge, and I need to make some money, and I don't want to work for somebody else. No, I'll go to work. They'll pay me $16 an hour for some kid to tell me what to do, and they don't know what they're talking about. I can't do it. I can't. Let me rephrase that. I won't. So I don't know what's blocking me. May I need to work on being a little more willing around that stuff. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate Gary. It was good seeing you. Patricia, as always, thank you for being here. I love you. Peace out. And have a day. Bye-bye.